In 2010, I was out of shape, but motivated by my life pretty much falling apart, got back in shape. In 2017, I was out of shape again, but then motivated by love for my beautiful wife, so got in shape again. It's now 2024, out of shape again. This time motivated by the comments from Ohio Bob 26, who on one of my YouTube videos said, "You so fat." That tells you I am somebody who knows a thing or two about getting back in shape. I'm also getting more sensitive to feedback as I get older. This video is a typical day in my life as I transform back to healthy and fit, but it's not going to be done the way those videos are typically done, and there are going to be some specifics about what I'm doing missing because they are irrelevant to you. One of the big problems with YouTube fitness is it often presents one person's solutions as being right for another, and that is not always the case. I am a 6'6", 230 pound English man with all the time in the world. I have reasonable resources, a supportive partner, but I also have asthma, wrecked knees, multiple minor injuries, and I bump into things without my contact lenses. If you are a 5'4", 140 pound Canadian woman working 2 jobs for minimum wage and train at the worst gym in town, but are also genetically blessed with perfect joints, a full head of hair, and a sunny disposition, we're going to be doing things very differently. My calories, strength, speed, moisturiser routine of no use to you. So instead, let's focus on stuff that I do or approaches I adopt that might apply to most people in most situations and are for the most part things that I did each time I got back in shape so I know they work. That's what this video is about. Tips for everyone, even Canadians. Right, my routine. I don't go full Huberman. I've got 2 white dogs. Those black shirts will be a firm magnet, but I do need some sort of structure to make the likelihood of the day going well as high as possible, and that means starting now the night before. So every night I get everything ready for tomorrow morning while my enthusiasm is highest for tomorrow being a good day. I'm not talking about bouncing out of bed, staring at the sun while having a cold plunge, but everything I need this morning, in fact everything I need for a lot of today, is already done and in place. So last night my green shake was prepared. It's red, don't ask. My overnight oats were put in the fridge, ready to go. My protein shake for mid-morning with my creatine in it, again, ready to go, just sits here until I need it later. My gym bag is in the garage. Everything that I need in it is there and ready for today. Basically, if it is important that it happens today, something has taken place to make it happening very easy. It's the opposite of putting junk at the supermarket till, making it unavoidable to buy. I put good things in my way, making it hard to avoid doing them. And then I walk the dog every morning. Within half hour getting up, I need to be outside getting a little bit of fresh air. Moving house pretty soon, so I'll be doing this alongside my stream, listening to birds chirp and squirrels chirp. Right now, I do it in the only field near my house, listening to the M4 and a podcast on these Shocks, who have sponsored the video. And I know what you're thinking, great, another YouTuber getting paid money they don't need to buy stuff they don't need, like, I don't know, another GoPro or some stupid drone. But pump your brakes, because I've been wearing Shocks bone conducting headphones for as long as I can remember. Literally launched just a couple of days ago, very, very exciting. Full review coming. Certainly long before anyone was listening to me here. And dog sunglasses. Turns out they're really quite good, which is annoying because I'd hoped to maintain a look of impartiality and credibility by highlighting an issue with them. I mean, they're orange, but they do come in black. They're just genuinely very, very good. Historically, I've always thought, and I was right, that bone conducting headphones are a big compromise. The sound quality is not great, but then you can hear what you're doing. So when you're out and about, running, cycling, walking, it's much safer. You can hear your surroundings. In fact, at some UK races in particular, you're not even allowed to wear regular earphones, but you are allowed to wear these. This is stupid. Why would anybody want to do this? This is nuts. There's no one here, just in a field. Everything hurts. Gate, why put a gate here? Stupid. So that's all good. The compromise is the sound quality is not as good as regular earphones. On things like podcasts, that can be quite annoying because clearly you need to be able to hear every word in a way that with music it's not quite so essential. But when I put these on, I immediately realised that I can't imagine why I'd ever wear regular earphones again when I'm out and about. The sound quality is just absolutely perfect for outdoor sports. Genuinely very impressed, to the point that I'm thinking this might be a bit boring to explain to you. So to jazz it up, I'm going to show you some footage of my wife wearing them on a bike ride while I give you the specs. And yeah, I did shoot the video of my wife with my new drone. And this is my first flight with that drone, so do not expect much. So, shocks. OpenRun Pro 2 now have 2 independent drivers, so high and mid and then bass sounds can be processed separately. They're also only a gram heavier than the previous model. IP55 water resistant, so don't worry about getting them covered in sweat or rain. And they give you 12 hours of music playback on a full charge. A 5-minute quick charge gives you 2.5 hours of playback. They're also supposed to have 16% less clamping force, so don't squeeze your head. Having said that, I wore the previous ones on ultramarathons and I would forget they were even there. Genuinely very, very impressive. What's less impressive is my drone flying skills. Right, pictures. Every couple of days I come in here, the garage, consistent lighting, stand in the same space and do photos. If you've not done it before, it is not necessarily a pleasant thing to do. It's a bit uncomfortable. The other day my dog saw me do it. It was embarrassing. But it does work, because for most people, how you look is going to be a bigger motivator than simply a number on the scales. Yet it's hard to see in the mirror day to day any sort of change. You would have got out of shape very, very slowly. It would have crept up on you. The same thing happens when you're getting back in shape. Yet when you look at photographs, you can see a gap between them, a couple of weeks maybe, and suddenly you realise that things are happening. This looking the way I want it to is what motivates me. And just a quick point to finish on with photos, when I get into much better shape and I am getting quite lean, I do give a little bit more thought to whether or not I am actually in need of getting better. It is very easy to get sucked into thinking that you need to constantly improve even when you are already in very good shape. Basically body dysmorphia, if you like. But of all the problems affecting health and fitness in the West, body dysmorphia is not the largest of them. Being large is the largest of them. Right, cardio done. 45 minutes to an hour most days. Easy cardio. I used to do a lot of higher intensity stuff, but I'm getting old. Spike today because I got a lot on with the house move and a million emails in relation to that I have to go through, so I can sit on the bike and do those here. I've also got an NSYNC documentary I'm finishing on Netflix. Cardio is not what I want to discuss here though, because again, this is just very particular to me. You might hate NSYNC. No, number 3 is I'm in no rush. I am 50 years old. Whether I'm back in shape that I want to be in by my 51st birthday in November, or early next spring, next year, or maybe it takes a full 12 months and it's next summer before I'm happy, really happy. Who cares? I know I'm going to be an in shape 53-year-old at some stage, and that will be just fine. I know the internet is filled with 6-week, 8-week transformations that are in most cases 99% smoke and mirrors bullshit to try and sell you something. I don't care. I'm not rushing this, because if I did, it would make the whole thing very depressing. I'm not going to be in good shape in a month's time. I cannot book a holiday for 6 weeks from now and expect to go on it taking a 6-pack. I have to accept that. My wife has to accept that. She's booked a city break. We're going somewhere cold and I'm going to be wearing a coat. I'm happy with that. And I'm now looking at a realistic point in the future that puts no pressure on me, especially no pressure to train or diet to an extent that is just not enjoyable. And that's important, because this all has to be fun. Okay, 15-minute walk to the gym, doing weights about 4 times a week. Shoulders today. Annoyingly, the cool gym I used to go to recently closed. So I'm back at the first gym I used to go to, which is not quite so cool. Never mind. Now, there is a reasonable following that you can generate in this YouTube fitness world by pushing the idea that suffering is what separates winners from losers. This is stupid. Why would anybody want to do this? That extreme discomfort makes a better you, pain is growth, all that. This is nuts. Can certainly be a very entertaining message, but if your name is Martha and you work in human resources, then running until your toes look like David Goggins will not make you a happier park runner. Stay hard! I understand the need to occasionally train to a point of high fatigue, or restrict my calories to a point of high annoyance, but for the most part, I want to look forward to going to the gym. I want to look forward to my meals. I want to look forward to my morning cardio, watching 19-year-old Justin Timberlake bounce about. So if you're doing something on a regular basis and you don't enjoy it, here is a tip: do a different thing. I hate swimming. So do you know how I overcome that hatred in order to do triathlon training? I don't do triathlons. People say I should all the time. They're saying you should, be great content. What? I'm not going to regularly do an exercise I don't like just because it looks good on Instagram. If you do that, you need a psychiatrist, not a coach. Long-term success is caused by the formation of good long-term habits, and good long-term habits are formed by doing things you want to do regularly that aren't shit. If you like what you're doing, keep doing it. Leave the suffering to those making money telling you need to suffer. Protein shake with a few extra chocolate chips. Right, lastly, support and motivation. Having great support around you is the best way to do all of this. Training, diet, the lot. In a close second place is no support, because if you have no one around you, you can at least focus entirely on yourself. And a distant third place is what most people have to put up with, which is people around them that are unsupportive at best, negative and destructive more commonly. Your mum saying, "Oh, have you lost weight again? You look ill." "Yes, mum, I lost weight because I was fat." Your friends saying, "Oh, taking this a bit seriously, aren't you? Because I'm jogging." Or your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend saying, "I love you just the way you are." Really? Unhealthy? Unhappy? Really? My wife loves me stuffing my face with donuts about the same as she would love to see me stuffing cigarettes into my mouth or getting drunk every night. She is not an idiot. She knows I have been very overweight. She knows that leads to all sorts of bad things, one of them being death, none of them being six-packs on a beach. And she's sensible. When she is 80, she does not want to be regretting the whole age gap relationship thing. She wants me 95 and putting the bins out. She does not want to be doing it herself because I was dead 20 years earlier from any number of ailments linked to being out of shape. So when I say to her, as I have, it's important to me that I get in shape. It's important to me that you know that, and I'd love you to help support me in any way you can. She says, "Of course I will." Equally, there will come a time where I've been on it for 6, 7, 8 weeks, and she will then be saying, "Maybe we can have a takeaway. Let's have a fun meal." Our relationship is basically not unconditional. If we are able to be fit and healthy for each other, then being so is required. And a partner wanting you healthier and happier is not a bad thing. One seeing you unhealthy, unhappy, self-harming through excess food consumption or inactivity and saying, "I love you anyway," does not help me. I have a dog for unconditional, non-questioning devotion. And lastly, motivation. I started this video by explaining the reasons that I was now motivated to get back in shape and had been on previous occasions. The problem with those sources of enthusiasm for what you're doing is that they're great for getting you started, but it's very easy to end up looking in less productive places as your journey progresses. So this time around, I might have started getting in shape for the right reasons, but very quickly I was sticking to it, thanks to social media, because of Hugh Jackman's steroid and CGI-assisted abdominals. And all that's fine if you understand you aren't looking at anything that close to reality for you. They often say that comparison is the thief of joy. Actually, it's not the thief of joy. Comparison is incredible. Watching the Olympics is only cool because they compare so favorably to us. Things, people being incredibly superior in one way or another is fun to see. The joy is never stolen. It's given away when you then regard their excellence as meaning that you are something less than you wish you were. Now, normally people can watch the Olympics and not get too depressed that they aren't also running sub 10-second 100-meter sprints. But for some reason, when it comes to looking at elite six-packs on Instagram, the ability to simply admire rather than wish you could emulate disappears. Maybe because those people with elite six-packs are often lying to you that if you take their supplements and train like them, you can also have one. So I don't mean you should not compare yourself to others or be motivated by others. Just do so understanding what is realistic for you to achieve and measuring your happiness against you progressing towards that and not somebody else's standard, which might not even be real for them. That's it. I need to get ready for tomorrow. Like, subscribe, go watch that NSYNC documentary. It is fascinating.